Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome. So the agenda today is to be live reacting to WWDC 2024. This is the Worldwide Developer Conference for Apple. This is the Apple keynote. This is where they're going to be talking about several things that we could be expecting. We could be expecting discussions on iOS 18, watchOS 11, and just the various different softwares, right? iPad OS, Mac OS. Hardware, I'm not entirely sure, but just to give you guys a heads up, do not expect for the actual keynote conference to be displayed on here, as I attempted to do that. I think it was 2 years ago, and Apple did a strike on my channel. So there won't be any visuals, any audios from it. I mean, I'll hear it on my end, but you guys won't hear it on your end. I will just be giving commentary to it. So if you guys want to kind of have it pulled up, that's totally fine. If you guys want to watch the conference and then come back and listen to what I had to say through it, I'll be responding to comments and questions as I am watching the Apple keynote. Tim out of this World Shorts, what's up, man? You're first here. Yeah, appreciate you for being here. I really wish that Apple wouldn't be so anal about it and just allow content creators to react. I mean, it's publicity for them, right? I don't understand why they would strike a channel. It's like the only place that you're allowed to really view it is on the Apple YouTube page. Or I think other content creators who buy into it, I guess, or have some sort of agreement with Apple, are allowed to live react, where you can actually see the event as the creator is reacting to it. But anybody else, any small channel like mine, and if you don't have permission from Apple, they will strike your channel. So I'm not gonna take that risk. So it'll just be me basically talking, and I'll be watching it on my second monitor here and making sure that there's no audio from it that's gonna jump in or anything like that, right? So no visuals. You guys must understand that, and I apologize if it doesn't bring the context you're wanting from this live stream. But there will be no visuals or audios from Apple, because I am not taking a strike from them for them being, basically dickwads about it. Gene, welcome in. I appreciate you for being here. But I am going to live react. I am going to give commentary. I am going to flow my commentary throughout all of it. So it's not, I'm not going to, I'm going to try not to have any awkward dead air in this live stream. Just literally just react. The camera will turn on, so you guys will see me on this live stream. But the camera will turn on the moment that the WWDC 24 starts. And so you guys can get my live reactions to certain things that they announce, and I will kind of just be going on that. Vincent, welcome in. Like I said, I'm going to be live reacting to WWDC 24, which is Apple's keynote event. Kind of like, how Google I.O. So this is Apple's version of it, their version. However, because Apple is, they're pretty much asses about it, I can't actually live react and have the video stream playing for you guys to see, because they will strike my channel like they did the other year that I did it. And so, yeah, I will not do that again. I just don't want to risk that. There is no risking it for the biscuit in this one. But we got about 10 minutes and 39 seconds and counting until the event starts. I know they're gonna have their little things or whatever. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have multiple devices, that'll probably come in handy, because then you can listen to my reaction here on one device. You can have the WWDC 24 playing on the other device, so you can kind of follow along and see what I'm seeing, and kind of understand. However, I'm going to try to break down as much as possible of what they speak at the keynote. I think the only time there would be awkward dead air pauses, or just me, actually, I'll probably just use that time to really kind of just go in depth on something that, I heard during this live event. But when they have those little trailer things, right? little trailers in betweens and stuff like that. I mean, it's just that's where it's gonna get like kind of crazy. So I'll just kind of like go more in depth there. So I'm going to assume that starting today, or hopefully starting today, iOS 18 beta comes out. I do have my iPhone 12 ready for that. So if they do announce that iOS 18 beta is available, then I will install the beta software on my iPhone 12. And hopefully that does implement RCS messaging, because that is one of the things I'm very interested in when it comes with, the Apple iPhones and iOS software, is the RCS implementation and how that works out. My wife is already on standby. She knows the phone number that I'm going to be texting from, which is on my iPhone 12. So she's ready for it to let me know how the RCS messaging between her Android device and my iPhone, how they play well and communicate, right? So iOS 18 beta possibly going to be released today. If not today, probably in the next couple of days. They'll have iOS 18 beta ready for us to try out on our iPhones. If you're not wanting your device to have any type of bug issues or anything like that, I would definitely tell people, like, do not install beta software if you cannot run your phone without its proper functions, because some things will break in beta. Some things will break in beta software. That is inevitable. We got 8 minutes and 19 seconds and counting. But just to kind of be realistic with everybody, right? You don't want to put beta software on your device if you need it to fully function 100% the way it's meant to, perform. So with that being said, how would you rate Apple these days? I mean, Apple's Apple. Apple is Apple. I mean, I wouldn't say they're doing anything groundbreaking, right? I mean, we're going to hear a lot of AI. Like, that's something that, do expect if you're going to tune into the WWDC 24. We're going to hear a lot about their new AI built into Siri and how that's going to work. Like, we already know that if you have a device that has the A17 Bionic chip, obviously you're going to have the ability to have on-device AI computing. But other devices that don't have that, so those that have like the A16 Bionic, those devices will only have cloud AI. There would be no on-device AI. So that means that, the iPhone 16s and the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but of course, we've read that Apple intends to only provide that for the Pro models, leaving the base models to just be dependent on cloud AI. I don't know how true that is, but we'll find out today. That's one of the big things that I'm interested in when it comes to Apple, is what are they going to do with this whole AI? Because there were so many rumors talking about that Apple was going to use Gemini from Google to be their AI assistant on their devices. I'm glad that it seems like that's not what they're going to do. Apple has, in the past year been buying up, small companies that have been developing AI. And so hopefully they come up with something pretty nice to rival Gemini. I would really love for there to be competition against Google when it comes into the whole AI realm. Because, Samsung's not going to produce that, right? For a lot of you guys who don't know, Samsung pretty much, they use Gemini. But anyways, before this disappears, if you guys do appreciate what I do, if you guys want to support the channel, like a monetary support, you guys can do it right there. The QR code will stay up in the corner over there throughout the rest of the broadcast. I'm going to take it out of the way here. And I will be watching your guys's, actually, you know what? I'll just have everyone see your guys's comments. I think that would be fitting for those people to catch the replay, to kind of just see what you guys are talking about in the chat. We got about 5 minutes and 27 seconds and counting left until the start of WWDC 24. It's just going to be so weird because, I have the audio from the live stream kind of playing already. So when this starts to kick some sound, it's going to sound weird for me. So if I'm a little off in the very beginning of it, I apologize. But I really wish that Apple would not be so, just let us creators just react to it. It's time for Apple I/O. It's almost time. About 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Like I said, I can't put it on screen for everybody to watch with me because I'll get my channel struck by Apple. They did it to me already. I think when they did it, it was WWDC 2020. I think it was. It was the year that the Pixel 5 came out. So yeah, I think it was that. It was that one or 2021. One of those 2 years, Apple hit me with a strike. And then before I could even take down the live stream, then YouTube just like quickly expedited that strike and kept it on my channel. So I wonder how well how much we'll hear about AI. I think we're gonna hear a good amount of it. I'm just interested in knowing like how well is this going to rival Gemini. Like, to me, that's the big thing. Like, how well would this rival Gemini? Because that's the thing, right? Like, my biggest fear, like I said earlier, was that they were going to use Gemini. And so, yeah, I don't want them to use Gemini. Like, I want them to kind of develop their own. So we'll see what happens there. I wonder if they'll come out with a new iPhone SE model. Rumor has it that they are coming out with a new SE model, and that it's completely revamped as far as design language, right? So it's basically going to contain, this design language for the next SE model. No, we'll see. Lots to look at. Hopefully you guys got 2 devices you guys could be using right now, so you guys can have me on one and then have the actual WWDC event on the other one. If you have a computer with 2 monitors, you probably can host both. That'll be kind of tricky to do. Or if you have like a smart TV, you can play WWDC on the smart TV and then like have this live stream on your phone, however you guys see fit to do it. We are at 2 minutes and 43 seconds and counting. So if you want to grab your favorite beverage and a snack, it's about to go live. You love the SE 3rd gen? Yeah, I think they did pretty good. And keeping the old form factor with Touch ID and everything like that, but then implementing 5G with the device itself. Coffee, what's up? Welcome in. Glad to have you here. I'm watching the Apple keynote intro on my laptop. Yeah, we got about like 2 minutes left. This will be interesting. Hopefully iOS 18 beta is out today. That said, I'm ready to install it on the iPhone 12, and then that's first thing I'm gonna test out is moving your icons on your iPhone exactly where you want them to be, right? And not having to go with this old school Apple format, but being able to put it anywhere. And it's starting. They got that jazzy music playing. I got captions on too, so God, I wish I could just have this on screen for you guys. I really wish I could, but man, Apple, you need to be more content creator friendly. I'm gonna say that to Apple. They need to be content creator friendly, and not like the bigger people. Not like giving a pass to the big guys and forgetting about us nerds that just do this for fun. Because like we're hyping your shit up. You're on your iPhone 13 mini. Is iOS 18? I mean, iOS 18 isn't out yet. No, it's not out. Your iPhone 13 mini has iOS 13 beta? Dude, you're like way outdated. You should be on iOS 17. My iPhone 12 is on iOS 17. It's on iOS 17.5.1, I think. They got this nice chill beat going on with Apple right now. I must say, yeah, iOS 17.5.1 is what my iPhone 12 is on. I don't have beta turned on. They got these little visual things going on right now. I don't get them. Here we go. I have an iPhone, bro, and it's cool and everything, but it's not anything to write home about. Well, hopefully iOS 18 changes that for you. Because we will see, and yes, I don't. Somebody, somebody is going to reference "Welcome to, 2007" once they talk about the whole you can place your icons whatever you want on the home screen. Okay, they got this ad going in. You got a dude using the Apple Vision Pro. Oh my god. Uh-huh. They got these flight suits and parachute packs that have the old Macintosh vibe to it. So it's got that rainbow stripe that the Macintosh used to have. Yeah, Android's had it ever since it came out in 2007. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is funny. Apple. I like the prints on the parachutes. tvOS, watchOS, iPadOS, macOS. Tim Cook is on top of the building again. He must really love being up there. I hope so. Yeah. I mean, we got to give them snaps because they're now allowing game emulators on iPhone, which I have one downloaded on my iPhone, and I think it runs really good. Um, Now I just got to be getting my Google Stadia controller over there to be like compatible to the iPhone, so I can play my games on the emulator on my iPhone. Or I can use it on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's what I'm using as my webcam right now. Apple TV Plus. Okay. I don't know about that. The best in entertainment? That's kind of reaching. They claim the highest rated original programs. Okay. Ghost Rider, Coda, The Morning Show, Ted Lasso, Severance, Bad Sisters, Silo, Causeway. Oh, God. Napoleon. Wow. Oh, yeah. All right. So right now they're just focused on Apple TV Plus and original shows for Apple TV Plus. Uh, every streaming website or and media entertainment thing like that is always going to say that in those types of words. Yes. Yeah. Dark matter. To be honest with you guys, any of these shows that they're talking about, I've never seen. Oh. I thought Apple had its original show since the Apple TV launched back in the day. I mean, they have, but they're adding new ones. They're saying there's new ones coming, as well as like new seasons for their most popular ones, I guess. A lot of big actors in TV shows and movies. Oh my god. Vision OS, iOS, Audio and Home, Watch OS, iPad OS, Mac OS. Yep. Vision OS. They're starting on Vision OS. Gotta sell 2 kidneys and a left eye to get that thing. Hopefully when they talk about AI, it won't be as bad as when they talked about 5G and had Hans Vestberg on there talking about 5G, 5G, 5G. You imagine them talking about AI, 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 AI. I mean, Google was already full of that, and Google I/O. That's mostly what we got was AI. I wouldn't doubt it in the next couple of years that Apple comes out with their own TV in color revolutionary. The iTV or iTube. Yeah, there you go. I mean, they have some. You gotta admit, they do have some cool shit going on with the Apple Provision. And this is just like the early stages of the Apple Vision Pro. Basically, just imagine 10 years from now what it would cost to get that that newer device around that time frame. I don't think it would be super expensive, like 3 grand or however much it costs. Vision OS 2. Okay. All right, Haley, tell us more. Apple is just allowing Crumbly Cookies app. That's my favorite app. You have 2 stores in your area. I've never had that, so hopefully if they ever open one up here in Phoenix, I'll be able to enjoy it. They're gonna call their TV screen revolutionary. It's going to have AI and intelligent color accuracy, and they're gonna say that stuff is revolutionary. Okay, so with the Apple Provision, if you load up a photo, um, it will bring it to a more real life state in 3D. The whole spatial vision. Okay, that's pretty cool. Imagine video calling like that. So a quick, easy gesture to open up Home View in Apple Pro Vision, Apple Vision Pro. That's pretty cool. If it wasn't so costly for that, I'm sure more people would be able to enjoy it. If you use the Pro goggles with your MacBook, you can actually put the display and then make it super wide. That's handy. Hey, what's up, Everything Tech? Welcome in. I'm watching it separately on the side, so. And just to be safe, someone give me an audio check. I want to make sure that you guys cannot hear the event because I don't want to get in trouble with Apple. Remember how a couple of years ago they were talking about putting an Apple Car out? Then we come to find out a couple of years later that they scrapped the whole opportunity of an Apple Car. For now, I wouldn't put it past Apple that they would eventually put out the Apple Car. It's one of those really weird things too, because if they put out like an electric. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. I'm sorry. If Apple wasn't so mean, I would actually like put this on screen with audio for you guys to watch and hear. But the last time I did that, I got in trouble with Apple. Spatial video. Yep, but not on the regular iPhone 15. Cool, Gene. I appreciate it. So they have a partnership with Canon to be able to use a Canon camera to create spatial videos. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Black Magic design with the Black Magic camera. What's up, Jeremy? Welcome in. I'm sure my wife will like that whole thing with The Weeknd. That's her favorite musician. Even though The Weeknd is actually changing his name to just his regular name. Okay. Tim is on the roof. You've probably been hearing more about how your product is super expensive. China, Japan, Singapore, Australia, June 28th. Australia, Canada, France, Germany, United Kingdom, July 12th. Okay. All right. Wow, they're going to talk iOS in the beginning? Okay. I figured they would leave iOS to like second to the end or the end. I mean, I know they're going to. Definitely go over Mac OS. iOS 18. Let's get into it. I miss Johnny Ives. The way Johnny Ives describes stuff with Apple. Yeah. They're talking about customization right now. Show us. Make it official. What? So they got dark mode for icons. You could do basically what Material UI does automatically. But now you could choose any other color you want, which they have that in presets on Material UI. They pretty much just made Material UI for iOS. Let's just put it honestly. Yeah. Okay, so in the control center, when you swipe down from the right, now you got more pages of control center and you just swipe. So once you swipe it down for control center, you can group them and then have pages that you swipe up or down to access. So you can have it for like, your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth toggles, and then you can have it for other things. So you can add controls from other app services, third-party services into your control center, and you can group them by what they are. If they're an iOS built, third-party app built, and what type of third-party app built. You can create that if you want to. So it's available from the lock screen too. So now the controls at the bottom, the one for flashlight and the one for the, you can customize those. Okay. They're talking about app privacy. So you can lock apps now on your device. That way, if you let someone look at a photo on your phone, they can't exit the photo and start going into your personal shit. If you lock the app, it requires Face ID unlock or passcode. They can't see your browsing suggestions, Siri suggestions, call history. You can hide apps on your phone now. Yeah, you can hide apps now too. So in the in the app drawer to the right, there will be a specific folder that you can place the app in that hides it. It's locked, so the only way it can be viewed is going into the app drawer, going to it, and then face unlock password to get into that folder. Basically, just to give you guys a visual. So it'll be in this section, and when you scroll to the bottom, there'll be a locked folder right here that you would need to unlock in order to view it. You can pair with other devices, and they have security to keep it protected and private, that it can only connect for the functions that that device needs, but not to access anything else. They're talking about messages now. Tap backs. So now Tapbacks is going to have more options, and they've kind of upgraded the look of it. You can schedule messages to send later. That's pretty cool. They got text effects now. That's cool. You can add these effects to the text words specifically. Messages via satellite. But I won't be able to use that because it's only for iPhone 14 and newer. You'll be able to use iMessage connected to satellite. Sending, receiving, sending emojis, tapbacks, all capable with satellite connection. They support SMS via satellite. Wait, where's RCS? They went straight into the mail app. Wait a minute, what happened to RCS? I don't use the mail app from iOS. I use Gmail. So their mail app is just implementing things that Inbox by Gmail was doing. So this is why I say Google drops the ball on things. They should have kept Inbox by Gmail around or fully integrated it into Gmail. Now, this is what Gmail needs from your phone to be able to delete massive amount of emails. Because with the mail app, you could categorize what, like, say, a certain business that you get emails from, and you don't want to get emails from them no more, and you don't want them taking up your storage. You can select that specific business, and all emails that's pertaining to that business, you can delete them all at once. Gmail needs that. So Apple Maps can now work offline. Yeah, they're just hitting all the apps on iOS, specifically Wallet. They got Tap to Cash on iOS 18. You don't need a phone number or any information. Just have your phones close by each other and you can send cash from one person to another. So they have all these fun little updates for each of their specific apps like Journal and things like that they're going over, but I haven't said nothing about RCS. Game mode is coming to iPhone. Yay! So that means that it will sleep all the other processes and focus more of its core performance to help the game perform at its best. Oh, it will be compatible with wireless game controllers. So it looks like my Stadia controller should work with an iPhone. Yeah. Okay. So Chelsea's going to talk to us about the redesign of the Photos app. Yeah, it looks like Google Photos. I'm sorry, it does. Okay. Now that's cool. You can filter out screenshots, filter out specific types of images you don't want in your search, so you can just find what you want to find. That's nice. Like Google Photos does. They call it collections. Google Photos calls it albums. It's got a very similar layout too. Very similar layout. There's still no mention of RCS though. Maybe they're not talking about RCS because it's not their thing, right? So it'll be implemented in iOS 18, but they're not talking about it at the keynote. Apple is petty like that. Like, I'm still going to use Google Photos. Why were you traveling during the pandemic? That's unsafe. I use Apple Pay all the time and my Apple Cash card. Nice. Yay. So those people that really didn't like Google Photos, You guys have now something very similar to it on the regular Photos app for iOS. Um, I guess so. I mean, you can still do tap to pay with Google Wallet. See, they didn't kill the ability for you to do tap to pay on Android. They just had two apps that did the exact same thing, and they got rid of one to keep one. So yeah, I can do tap to pay on both my phones still till today. They've jumped into AirPods, so no mention of RCS messaging at all. So they got gestures with AirPods. If Siri asks you a question, if you want to respond, doing this will, you know, apply the yes gesture. Doing this applies the no gesture. So the AirPods pretty much you don't have to speak out loud in crowded places. Voice isolation to AirPods Pro. I think what Google Pixel Buds Pro has that feature already, where it can remove the background noise in the call, and you just hear only the caller's voice. I mean, I don't have AirPods Pro. The only AirPods I have are the Gen threes. So I have the Gen threes, and then for the Android side, I have my Pixel Buds A. Um, for neither one, some of my favorite ones is my Skull Candies. I like the Skull Candies, and the JVC Gummy Twos. I like those. Nian, what's up, man? So Apple TV Plus is getting Insight, where it will tell you whatever song's playing on TV. It'll tell you what the song is. If you're watching a movie, it will tell you who the actors are in the scene. Pretty much like what we have. So like where it's actively listening, and if it hears a song, it'll tell you the name of the song on the always on display. But TV though, it's on Apple TV. So okay. 21 by 9 projectors now supported with Apple TV. So you can keep Apple TV on and have this screensaver play on your TV if you're not actually using Apple TV. Hopefully, you got the money to pay your electric bill to keep your TV running all day. Yeah, I was surprised I haven't really tapped into the foldable scene yet. Snoopy has a screensaver on Apple TV. That's for audio and home. Okay. Now they're jumping into Watch OS. They haven't. I mean, come on. It would have been nothing wrong for them to talk about that RCS is now supported in iMessage and whatnot. That's one thing I don't have as an Apple Watch. I still like my Pixel Watch and my Pixel Watch Gen 1. I don't have the Pixel Watch 2. The battery life has gotten so much better on my Pixel Watch. But maybe my sister will enjoy this. I know she has an Apple Watch. My sister uses iPhone. She has an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I think she has the Gen 1 Apple Watch Ultra. So I'm talking more about like health stuff with your Apple Watch. My wife has a Galaxy A53 that she's using right now, and she likes Pixels. She likes Samsung. She uses an iPhone 10s for doing Amazon Flex deliveries. That's what she and I do together as a side thing to make extra money. She uses it for that, but yeah. I'm trying to get her to switch and just take my iPhone 11 Pro Max because it's got better battery than the iPhone 10s. And she could do the Amazon delivery with that. Have the iPhone 11 Pro Max as a backup phone, but she doesn't want it. Okay. Today it's going to be hot. We're under a heat advisory. So it's about to get hot here. I think starting right now at 10 a.m. the heat advisory is on, and I think we're hitting back up to like 113. The Amazon Flex is pretty good, especially if you get like a good route. There was a time like just for 4 hours we made $113 for only 29 packages to deliver, and like majority of them were in this one community in the Northeast, Phoenix and Peoria area. It was so easy because it was like the last half of the packages they were literally in that one community. So it was like we would go down one road. This house would have a delivery. Right across the street would have a delivery, and we were just hitting all those, going all the way down. But more than often than anything, you can make some pretty decent money doing that. Yeah, I live in Phoenix. But yeah, most of the places that I pick up Amazon Flex deliveries, I usually go to the warehouse in Tolleson or the one on I think it's 7th Street on the south side. I think the most that we've had in a load to deliver was like 47 packages. Yeah, right now it doesn't feel too bad. Right now we're at 95 degrees. I think here it's going to start raising in the heat. We got our high pressure that's lingering over the southwest. So from California all the way through Arizona into New Mexico, we're like in excessive heat warning. But I got both my fans going on, the AC is running, and I have water. You got translation on your watch now. That's pretty cool. So machine learning, aka AI, it translates on your watch. That's pretty cool, and it plays it out through the speaker on it. You can do check-ins on your Apple Watch to let your friends and family know where you're at. You know, so Smart Stack has things like orders arriving, different cards. That's pretty cool. That's beautiful weather, 82 degrees. Consider yourself blessed, Gene. The cool thing about living in Phoenix, though, compared to living in Hawaii, is that in Hawaii, it could be 89 degrees, but the humidity can make it feel like it's 100 degrees. And it's thick, moist. It's just not good. At least here we have dry heat. So the only downside to it is that I got to keep hydrated because you get a heat stroke from being outside too long, and you can get dehydrated really fast without even realizing you're getting dehydrated because, it's dry heat. It's like being in a room with a giant blow dryer, like like a hair dryer, turned on, just blowing that dry hot air. Yeah, we did. All of last week, we were in an excessive heat warning for the entire week. It died down for Saturday and Sunday, so we were like in 105 degrees as our highs for Saturday and Sunday, and yeah, so today it's supposed to reach like 110, maybe 111. It says, and then the rest of this week will be above 111, like 113, 114. Nice. I hope that the 8 Pro does everything that you need out of it. We're talking about basically iPad OS. Okay. I mean, my iPad won't get iPad OS 18. I have an Air 2. It's outdated. The last supported software was iOS 15. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, Vincent. Thank you very much. I try my best. I try my best. I wish this one I could actually put this on display with all of you guys to watch with me, but yeah, um, Apple's just mean. Like Google will let me. I can always live react to Google I/O. SharePlay and Freeform you're focusing on right now. So now you can remote access somebody else's iPad with their permission. So if you guys are like on a FaceTime call, you can direct them by drawing on the screen to show them where to tap or whatever, or you can give them remote access and they can do it for you. So that's pretty cool. Wait, iPads didn't have calculator on it? What? Someone who's used iPhones for a lot longer than I, please confirm. Are they kidding me? They didn't have calculator on iPads in the past? So the last 2 days, well, yeah, the last 2 days, my wife and I have taken a break. Um, you can do them every day of the week. We do it as additional income, just because today a lot of things are pricey. Um, so like she'll go to work, she'll have one scheduled for the evening. We don't deliver during the day because it gets hot. So we'll do like early morning shifts, like from like three. Like they have blocks. They're about 4 hours long each block. So like for like 3 to 7, or 4 to 8 a.m. 6 to 10 a.m. We'll choose one of those because the weather's not bad. Or we'll do evening deliveries from like 6 to 10, or 5:30 to 10, or 7 to 11 p.m. It depends. It's not bad at all. If they have Amazon Flex in your area, just download the app and apply, because you have to go through like the normal. It's like a normal hiring process, background check, and all that stuff. Okay. So basically, with these new features, a student in school doesn't have to do the calculations anymore. That's crazy. Yeah, it's an easy side job. And the funny thing is that if you do work at Amazon as like a deliverer, you drive their vans to deliver packages. You can do that as like your daytime job, and then with a separate email account, you can create a Flex account and then do it as a contracted deliverer. So they use AI to recreate your handwriting and making it look neater. Like I guess with technology today, we're just cutting out the reasons of needing to have penmanship and all that. You can write like junk on your iPad and it will clean it up and make it look like legible. I can see this being great for like creators, like writers and stuff like that. So my sister will definitely enjoy this. I don't know if she got the new iPads. I think she did. So and I know she writes a blog. So this will be pretty cool for her. Hopefully she's watching this live stream. Shout out to my big sister. She caught the flu, so she's not feeling so well. So we may not do a podcast tomorrow on my second channel. Now they're gonna talk about Mac OS. I doubt he's doing parkour. It looks like someone wearing a white wig. Oh my god. Yeah. Mac OS Sequoia. Still no talk about RCS. Okay. Continuity. So, iPhone mirroring on Mac OS with continuity. You can control your iPhone even though you don't have it in the room with you using the iPhone mirroring on your MacBook. That's pretty cool. So you can interact with your apps on your iPhone, on your MacBook, just using the iPhone mirroring. And it functions, maneuvers the same way you would on an iPhone, right? So he's literally just like ordering coffee from a coffee app on his iPhone through his MacBook from iPhone mirroring. So that's yeah, you can find some usefulness in that for sure. So you can actually probably take phone calls on your iPhone through your Mac. Oh my God, Star Wars reference there. He used the Force to pull his iPhone to him. That's pretty cool. You would need the person's permission to remote into somebody else's iPhone. Like you can't just go in there yourself. So if you send a request, and I don't think it's for iPhone, it's only on iPad. But if you request a remote access, they would have to give you permission. So they will be notified on their iPad that you're trying to remote access their iPad, and they would have to give you the permission to go in there. And I think that can only be done if you're on a FaceTime call. Now, with this whole thing with macOS and iPhone mirroring, it will only access your iPhone. Don't think that you can remote access somebody else's iPhone to go through their stuff. Okay. So now they're talking about keychain. I don't like storing passwords in one place. I just don't. If someone cracks that keychain, all your passwords and everything are just exposed. Oh, that's cool. Hopefully, it's available today. I haven't seen it available just yet. So, but I don't know if they're doing it in waves. Like if like iPhone 15s can access 18 beta and 14. Um, like mine is a 12, so I don't know when they're gonna make it available for me to access it. Did I get the June update for the Pixel? Not yet. I don't think I installed it yet. I haven't even checked. Let's find out. Um, nope, not available yet. So still on the May 5th security patch update. As far as my Pixel 6a, it's still on Android 15 beta 2.2. By the way, there'll be another live stream happening right after this one. So when I end this one, there'll be another one started. I'm actually going to talk about a MVNO prepaid carrier that's making a comeback. Yeah, that's cool, man. Back up your 15 Pro Max. Yeah, Google is sometimes slow to roll out these updates. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. Although it is funny though that Apple did admit defeat when it comes to keeping devices supported and up to date. They have admitted defeat to Android. It's a very weird thing. You can catch. You just go to my videos. You'll find the video I talked about it. Which Google dropped the ball on that too, because they had Google Stadia, and I don't know why they gave it up. They implemented the functionalities of Stadia into YouTube, so you can pick up where you left off from your phone to your computer to your smart TV. That's fine, but Stadia was actually pretty badass. Motorola, I think Motorola is pretty decent. Feel bad for BTech Reviews. He got the Moto G Stylus 2024, and he has to send it back because his SIM ejector pin got stuck inside the hole, so he couldn't pop the SIM tray out. That's cool. You don't use a Pixel phone anymore. I will always stick with Pixel just because everything that the Pixel does is what I want out of an Android phone. And I don't want a cop-out version like from One UI or anything like that. I would ask Samantha if it's okay for you to talk about that on a podcast. You just throw her name out like that because it could get her in trouble. More than likely, it won't, but you never know what Verizon Corp will do. And, I mean, my channel's relatively small, so you don't really have to worry too much about Verizon. But if you do that on a major YouTuber's channel, that could get Samantha, even though you didn't say her last name or anything like that, it could have them start looking. So just kind of be careful, or make sure at least you have their permission to toss their name out like that. I don't like people getting in trouble. Oh, okay, cool. As long as you have her permission, that's all right. Well, that's good that you give her good reviews. They're talking about a game right now, for those who want to know. I don't think they're going to get rid of the tensor chip at all. But it is good, though, that the Pixel 10 though they're going to a different manufacturer to help them build the Tensor 5. So yeah, it won't be Samsung based. Since Samsung is stopping their operations of Exynos to go back to the drawing board and revamp the Exynos line to come back with a better processor chip. And I think they're doing this so they too will get away from Qualcomm. So on top of that, basically the Tensor 5 will be built by a totally different company, and hopefully that works out better. So they got like all kinds of different games coming to the Apple gaming Mac Sequoia. They got a game porting toolkit too, so that's pretty cool. You mean she's from tier 2 tech support? You put tier 2. For a second, I thought you meant she's tired of tech support. They still haven't said nothing about RCS messaging. Developer betas. Okay. So iOS 18 beta for public use won't be available till July. Only developers will have access to iOS 18 beta so they can develop their apps to work with the APIs for iOS 18. So no iOS 18 beta that I'll be able to put on any of my phones today. I'll have to wait till July. Because I don't have developer access. And it's not like Android where you can use what is it called? Android Studios. You can use Android Studios to sideload, an Android developer preview. Apple, they don't allow that. Not unless you're registered with them as a developer. July. It'll be available July for public use. So a blessing in disguise with today's keynote is that they didn't call it AI, and I'm sure they didn't call it AI because they didn't want it to connect to Google, as Google calls it AI. They called it for its other name, machine learning, and that's the popular word of today from WWDC 2024 is machine learning, which is fine because they didn't say all too much. Every now and then they kind of just they kind of did. And I think they're going through their exit spill. Oh wait, no, Apple Intelligence. Oh, oh my god! They did it again. They took something and they renamed it for them. They took AI, artificial intelligence, and just switched the A and made it to, A as an Apple. Apple Intelligence. Holy shit! You've been working for a long time. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I had to laugh. I had to laugh. Apple Intelligence. But how well is this going to function? And I'll tell you guys why at the end of this, why I think that way. All right. Okay. They're talking about capabilities of Apple Intelligence. Language, images, and actions. Yes, of course. How many languages? Cool. Okay. So they're having images now. It can create images based upon the context. So yeah, you can have an animated version of your friend when wishing them happy birthday, and an image shows that animated friend surrounded by balloons and birthday cakes. They're talking about actions now. Right. So basically, they got Siri. Okay. Man, oh man, this is funny. That's like their MO, right? They take something that's already out. They say they took a long time to develop it, but it has to do it right. We'll see. Okay, so the privacy is only going to come in the form of the on-device AI, which is rumored that only the iPhone 16s, the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are able to get on-device AI. Others will use cloud-based. A17 Pro, M1, M2, M3, and M4. Okay. Pretty much what Gemini Nano does. Just in the Apple way. Same with you. Let's play it real. Let's play it close to the chest. Okay. Mm. Private cloud compute. Please work as intended. Because, yeah. If they executed this good, then we can target Android to do the same thing. Okay, that's pretty cool. This is gonna kill jailbreaking. That's crazy. Kelsey is going to talk to us about Siri. Not necessarily. And the original intelligent assistant. They had to put that in there. They had to throw shade at Google. So Siri really got what Google Assistant got 3 years ago, where it can continue on the conversation when you are when it's been engaged, it's activated, it's engaging. You've asked it the weather at a park. You can continue the context of the conversation with the assistant by saying like create a plan for hiking this ridge or whatever, and it'll do that. Okay, it's cool. It's got lot of new things to really just kind of say that it's right there with Google Assistant, and that's good. A lot of people were upset with the way that Siri performed for such a long time now. Cool, cool, cool. App Intents APIs will be available for developers. Hmm. Apple Intelligence again. Oh my god. I was wrong about the machine learning thing. They are calling it AI, but Apple Intelligence is the name. So Siri can extract information from an image, i.e., if you have a picture of your driver's license, it can extract the data on your driver's license and input that into an app page. So they made Siri smart. What's up, VTech? No, they're not talking about hardware. Everything with WWDC 2024 is software. So same like Google I/O software. This is software. Um, Nothing really hardware wise. I think that's in September. All they really have talked about was iOS 18, iPad OS 18, Mac OS Sequoia, Watch OS 11, and Vision OS 2. And no RCS either. They have not mentioned anything about RCS messaging. But iOS 18 public beta July is when it'll be public public beta to test. Developer beta is released today, so developers can get access to iOS 18 to begin developing their apps for it. This guy looks like an older version of Jimmy Neutron. So you can have Apple Intelligence. That's what they're calling their AI, Apple Intelligence. So we got officially Apple Intelligence versus Gemini. It means that you don't have to know grammar anymore. You could just let AI do that for you. So you could be dumb as bricks and sound like you've read the encyclopedia front to back and all books of it, including every thesaurus that's out there. We got smart reply in mail. Yes, they've adapted what Inbox by Gmail did that Google dropped the ball on. So the mail app can summarize a long email and just get like the main points of that email in a shorter revised version, so you don't have to read the whole entire thing. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that iOS gets that now. So of course, the Apple fanboys are going to say it's revolutionary, and they're going to claim that Apple did it right. Apple was right at what they did. That's why it took so long. But I got something to say and address that at the end of this. So now they got reduced interruptions for notifications, things that's not considered important. If you have this enabled, it won't go on your lock screen or interrupt your day. Only the important ones will come through. So it's this keynote is weird. So they went through a lot of the OS changes in the first hour of the keynote, and that was pretty fast. It seems like that the second half of the keynote is focused on Apple Intelligence. Mm-hmm. Genmoji. So they basically created their own version of what Google has with the emoji workshop. You know how you can create your own emojis just by describing, and it creates that emoji for you? So they have theirs now with Apple Intelligence called Genmoji. Oh man, I can see the Android versus iOS wars reigniting over this image playground. So they went a step further than the emoji workshop on Android with Genmoji. Not only can you create emojis based on context of description, but you can also create backgrounds to that. And that's actually pretty cool. Of course, they had to do something this major because they have to keep iMessage as the default reason of keeping people locked into the Apple ecosystem. That is one of the major hooks to iOS is iMessage. And so now that they're having to implement RCS messaging, they want to make sure that iMessage still has the upper hand. So doing Genmoji with customizable backgrounds using AI to create that. Obviously, they're hoping that this takes off, that people use it a lot more to get them hooked on it, to stay engaging in iMessage, to stay with iPhone. Makes sense. Okay, can't be mad at Apple for that. People I know will talk shit about Apple, but it makes sense. I think they said Apple Intelligence like well over 39 times. 40. Image wand. Okay. So it can take a rough sketch and it can finalize it for you. Uh-oh. Oh, they got a like a what do you call it, magic eraser? They got a competitor. They call it cleanup in photos. The same things you could do in Google Photos, you can now do in Apple Photos. You can search specifically. You can say things like, show Tito with, stickers on his face, and it'll show all the photos with me having stickers on my face. You can create memories. So you could do things that Google Photos does now, basically. You can create little videos of like photo clips from an album of a vacation or whatever. You can create that and make you a memorable moment video. Oh my god. Apple Intelligence. AI has now been revamped from artificial intelligence to Apple Intelligence. Oh my god, it's got the same type of voice recording Androids had. where it will record what you're saying and it can convert it to a text and you can paste that. Now it can do that. It can do that on iOS now. And it can record phone calls and convert to text. Of course, it'll alert the other caller that the call's being recorded. So it's not like you can do it secretly. I can see the Android fans just really ripping into this today. They're really going to go out with welcome to whatever year these certain features came out on Android. Ah, so what's powering Apple Intelligence is Chat GPT. So now we know officially who they've partnered with for AI. So they didn't develop it on their own. Yeah. So they have their own native stuff with Apple Intelligence, but they will also use ChatGPT if their own AI service can't figure it out for you. But you have to give it permission in order to use ChatGPT. So that means that there are some areas of their AI that may be a little bit on the weak side, but they'll develop that over years of them doing it, and eventually will no longer be, needing to support from other entities, right? This is probably where the rumor that they were going to use Gemini with Google, which they're probably wanting to use Gemini for extended AI needs. But they ended up just going with Chat GPT, which is most popular. Most people use Chat GPT. They like it. So obviously, and it rivals Gemini, right? So it keeps Apple on the other side of the fence, rivaling against Google. And if you have a Chat GPT account that you have the paid version of it, you can connect it to Apple Intelligence Siri. So this is a big move for Chat GPT to have Apple as a partner using their AI. Siri Kit. They're talking about tools now for developers. They never used to allow so much access for non-Apple developers. Like you would literally need like Apple's in-team developers to really kind of go over your app and before it hit the App Store. But now they're actually allowing access to developers outside of it. So this is a very, very Google move that they're doing to get to this point. I'm sure Steve Jobs would not approve of this. But we got to stop thinking in the times of Steve Jobs. We have to. This is AI for the rest of us. Apple Intelligence. So in July, if you decide to get iOS 18 beta, these Apple Intelligence features will be in that beta to a degree. Though you can't expect the on-device AI computing to be there because you got to have an A17 Pro chip, or an M1, M2, M3, M4 chip. But um, the cloud-based AI will be available. I wonder how much of it will leak back over to, the iPhone 12. I don't think a lot of these cool things will come to the iPhone 12, to be honest. Well, still no talk of RCS, which I understand. They're not going to because it's not something they ever really wanted to do. A fly got in the house has been bothering me. For some reason, the camera stopped functioning with wow. So, sorry that the camera failed. Um, yeah, the iPhone connection to my PC for webcam just failed for some reason. Now it's reconnected. Okay. Oh man. So the event's over. The event is over. Okay. So, my overall thoughts of this event. Really, don't get me wrong. If I was a diehard Apple user, I would be excited with a lot of the things that they're bringing with iOS 18 and the different variations of the 18 software, as well as Vision OS 2 and Watch OS 11. Like, even the discussion of AI to their naming Apple Intelligence, the revamp of Siri and Siri becoming more intuitive and more smarter, like all these things would excite anyone that was a diehard Apple fan. The reason for my lackluster reaction to it is because this is not something new to me, an Android user. Okay. And I'm not shitting on Apple and I'm not making fun of them. I'm not trying to like downplay what they did, because I think that these things should have been available for Apple users for the long run, right? Their whole tool called Cleanup, which is basically a rendition of Magic Eraser, to the fact of, being able to create emojis with their Genmoji versus Emoji Workshop, and even going a step further by being able to creating background based on text or voice descriptions to create that image in iMessage to kind of keep iMessage on the top forefront thought mind of an Apple user, right? Because the last thing that they want is for an Apple user to switch over to Android for newer features, right? And let's not worry about the toxicity of diehard Android fanboys or the iOS fanboys and fangirls, right? Because yes, we can point out that 3 years ago, 4 years ago, like the Apple fanboys were like, oh, that's just a gimmicky bullshit thing Android's throwing out with AI. Now that they have it, we know for a fact they're going to take to Twitter, they're going to take to Facebook and stuff and talk about how Apple just revolutionized AI. But here's the thing. Like I said earlier, I would give you my thoughts about like what Apple was going to do, right? Because rumors had it that they were literally going to try and connect with Google and Gemini and use Gemini to kind of fill the gaps, right? So first and foremost, let's understand this, that hold on, let me take this call real quick. Give me 1 second here. I gotta make another important phone call. Sort of. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that, everybody. My son is actually heading to work here soon, and his driver has come to pick him up to take him to work. Anyways, yeah. So, like I was saying, you know what? Like, we know that there's gaps in Apple's AI. Okay, there's gaps, and I'm not gonna sully their name and be like, oh, how come they couldn't, get it all figured out if they supposedly have everything. Like, we know that Apple runs the company in that way. That it's like, like 40% development and 40% bravado, and like 10% they wing it. We know that that's how they pitch their stuff, right? What company is going to go out there and tell you guys that they got a product for you that's like half done or like 70% done, right? No company does that. They may throw a little white lie here and there just to keep their people content. That's what it is. Do I think that they're going to have a strong partnership with ChatGPT? Only if Apple's able to buy it. Only if Apple buys ChatGPT will that be, in there for the long haul future. But I don't see it that way. I feel like that Apple will, in fact, plug up those holes in their AI. They'll not mind my dogs, but they'll plug up those AI spots that are opened up with their own as they develop over time. Do you remember they've been acquiring companies that have been working on artificial intelligence in the last couple of years? They just acquired another one a couple of months ago. So they have intentions of broadening, their Apple intelligence, which is a good thing, right? So seeing all these things now being implemented into iOS, but where does that go for a lot of us? Like, would I expect the cleanup option in Apple Photos to be available on my iPhone 12? I doubt that feature will trickle its way down to my iPhone 12, right? Like, every time a new iteration of iOS comes out, like the most current in the last 2 years, devices will get these implementations in, but the ones beyond 2 years, 3 years, they may miss out on some of those features. And I think the cleanup may be one of those things. Now, I could be wrong, because this is something that's not going to be really on device AI computing, right? This is going to be cloud, which is one of the things that they talked about their way of securing it. Basically, the cloud servers are not to store your data. So the cloud servers will interact with your device. And there is an ID code between your iPhone and the cloud servers that allows talking in between the two systems. And if you don't have that, then basically the cloud AI has no way of connecting with your on-device personal data to be able to create that AI process you're trying to have it do. So now this actually will probably put an end to jailbreaking, because if you jailbreak an iPhone, I'm sure the secure ID that is required for the cloud-based AI to talk to your hardware is severed. There's no way of authenticating it to verify it to allow that. And hopefully that's really what it is. Hopefully that is the truth behind it, and none of your data is stored on the AI cloud servers. Because if so, then it's not so secure as they're claiming it to be. If it is, this is something that Google should also kind of adopt from Apple to implement with Gemini and everything like that, to make it more secure for our data on Android to be protected. So a lot of things that have come up basically to just make iOS pretty much on par with Android as far as the world of AI computing. Things that, people that are diehard Apple fans, and you know who you are because I've watched your videos and I've listened to what you had to say 2-3 years ago. And the thing was that Apple's not too concerned with AI. Well, that's a damn lie. They've been concerned with AI. They just wanted to get it done so it'd be in favor of them. As Apple does, they always take something that's already been out and say that they did it right. But how right did you do it with your AI if your AI requires ChatGPT to fill in some of the stuff that your own AI cannot do on its own? You can't point that way to Google because Gemini is what it is, right? When ChatGPT was a thing and everyone was like raving about ChatGPT, its rival was, well, what was it called? Bart or Barb, Google Barb, something like that. And eventually Barb became Gemini. So Google has this at their core. This is their core thing, right? This is why Google I/O, there was so much talk about AI. That's Google's core for their operating system and their software machine learning advancements. And other companies kind of adapt the same type of machine learning. That this is where they're pulling from, is from Google. So at the end of the day, there really is no reason to reignite the iOS Android wars. I'm just happy that those that I know that have iPhones will be able to do the same things that I can do on my Google Pixel. I have Magic Eraser. They got cleanup, is what they call it, where it will take out people that you don't want in your background. You can circle them to get them out of there. The only thing that they don't have, and obviously this tells you that, you know, how new they are into the AI scene, even though they claim like they're trying to do it right, is that with Google, you can also magic erase audio in videos, right? You can take out background noise. You know, you could be shooting a video at the Santa Monica Pier and a boat comes by with its engine really loud. You can take that completely out of your video. You can, you know, shift certain things about video and also photos, right? You can extend a photo with the magic editor in Google Photos, right? So if you have like a 4:3 photo, you can extend it to a 16:9 without cropping in the image, but expanding the image using Google's machine learning. It knows the area, right? Because there's millions of photos taken every day, and it can, you know, so quickly, almost instantaneously, gather so many photos of that area that you shot your photo at to know what is to the left and to the right of you for you to be able to expand that. That's what that does. And eventually but Apple will get to that point too with their AI. They're just scratching the surface for them and giving what a lot of Apple fans have wanted for so long. They didn't want the excuses of why they can't do this that Android users can do. They want to be able to do that. And Apple has answered that. They have fixed things. They have made things better. They have brought in things. So no, I'm not going to encourage anybody to do the welcome to whatever fucking year Android did it thing. We don't need that. And no, I am not an Apple fanboy. I prefer Google Pixel over my iPhone and always will prefer Google Pixel over it. I just think that, you know, with all these new advancements in the software for either side of the company makes for good competition. Why? Because you and I as consumers, we fucking win when they start to actually compete in the same areas, because they will implement and advance in more areas that benefits us, the end user, to be able to have these things at our fingertips. But at the same time too, I also want them to fucking slow down, because I would like my kids to practice their penmanship so they write clearly and legibly and not rely on a software AI to correct their handwriting or their grammar. I want them to be able to use selective words and choice phrases and to structure sentences a certain way than to have a computer do it for you. I mean, the fact they were talking about that you can write an email, maybe it sounds too intrusive, maybe it sounds too aggressive. You can go and edit that entire body of your email and hit friendly, and it will reword it in what would be considered a more friendly way. But what's wrong with the human brain? Like, are we really trying to dumb down our human brain to be stupid to where we can't even formulate, you know, some sort of email, a body of context words to be able to express what we're thinking? Like, are we really trying to do that to ourselves? Because our brain is super smart. Our brain is powerful. We don't even use more than 8% of our brain when it comes to intelligence. So what the fuck are we trying to do? I love mobile technology. I love, you know, software development. I love machine learning. I think they're great, you know, but we can't always rely on these things. Sometimes we have to do things ourselves, or we're going to end up like those people in the movie WALL-E, if you guys ever seen that movie. You know, I was just going to start another live stream and get into it, but, you know, I'll just keep it going. One last final thing that I want to talk about, and I'll probably go more in depth in the video about it, but it looks like Actually, you know what? I will end this live stream and I will pop another live stream specifically dedicated to this topic. So I end this here and now. Thank you for everyone that came to watch. I do apologize. There were no visuals and no audio of the event. I did not want to get in trouble by Apple, but you can watch the keynote yourself. You can come back and listen to what I had to say at the end here. I will put a timestamp into the description and I will post that on YouTube, that there is a timestamp to get to my actual thoughts of the event and not when I'm reacting to it, because I mean, you're just hearing my sarcasm through some of it. Everyone that came in to hang out, so I'm going to give shout outs to Gene, B-Tech Reviews, Vincent, Bobby Warren, Gene, thanks for being here. Who else was in here? I think TJ was in here earlier. Brian Lau, thanks for being in here. Nian Dang, thanks for being in here as well. And make sure I don't miss anybody. Titus, thanks for also coming through as well, man. Appreciate you coming in, bro. Jeremy Dobson, thanks for chopping in. TJ, thanks for being here as well. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys for being in here. I love you guys very much for being here. Team VRY, thanks for coming in for the brief moment, man, and hanging out with us. I really appreciate you for coming in. And Tim Out of This World, who was the first person to post in the chat once I went live. I give him that credit. Yeah, bro, take it easy, man. Take it easy, Brian. Thanks for coming back in to say goodbye. But I am coming back live in the next 10 minutes, getting the live stream set up here. And we're going to talk about Unreal Mobile and Iggy Azalea and her connection to it and what they intend to do. Are they, in fact, going to be the rival that Helium Mobile needs to look out for? We'll find all that out in the next live stream. Coming at you here in 10 minutes or less, depending how fast I get it up. Pause. For someone thinks in a totally different fucking way. People's minds today are so damn dirty. I just thought about it.